Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are rediving into a developing story that has the world watching closely. The escalating tensions between the United States and Iran, whose recently things took a more serious turn as Tehran issued what's being described as a battle warning. So, what's really going on? How did we get here? And what could happen next? Let's break it down together. To understand the current situation, we need to rewind a bit. The relationship between the US and Iran has been complex for decades, filled with periods of confrontation and brief moments of diplomacy. A major turning point in recent memory was the 2015 nuclear deal, officially known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, or JCPOA. This agreement, signed by Iran, the US, and several other world powers, was designed to limit Iran's nuclear program in exchange for lifting economic sanctions. For a while, it seemed to be working, with international inspectors verifying Iran's compliance. However, in 2018, the United States made the controversial decision to withdraw from the deal. First, there's the ongoing stalemate in diplomatic talks to revive the nuclear deal. Negotiations have been on and off for years. This is often referred to as being a nuclear threshold state, while Iranian leaders have consistently said they are not seeking nuclear weapons, aimed at crippling Iran's economy and forcing it back to the negotiating table for a new, tougher deal. This move dramatically changed the dynamic, with guarantees that a future US administration won't back out of the deal again. It's a classic chicken and egg problem, and access to the global financial system became nearly impossible. From Iran's perspective, they had held up their end of the bargain, only to be punished anyway. In response, Tehran began to gradually step back from its own commitments under the JCPOA. They started enriching uranium to higher levels, stockpiling more than the agreement allowed, and using more advanced centrifuges. Each step was a calculated move, a signal to the remaining parties in the spatially European nations that the status quo was unsustainable. Fast forward to the present day. The maximum pressure campaign has continued, and so has Iran's nuclear advancement. The situation has been simmering, with periodic flare-ups in the region. We've seen attacks on oil tankers in the Persian Gulf, drone strikes, and tense naval encounters between US and Iranian forces. Both sides have accused the other of provocation and destabilizing actions. The latest escalation comes as Iran's rhetoric has become significantly more assertive. The battle warning that's making headlines isn't just empty words, it's a reflection of a growing confidence, or perhaps desperation, within the Iranian leadership. This warning was reportedly delivered through diplomatic channels and public statements, signaling that any further military or economic pressure from the US could be met with a direct and forceful response. So, what specifically triggered this latest warning? Several factors are at play. First, there's the ongoing stalemate in diplomatic talks to revive the nuclear deal. Negotiations have been on and off for years, but they've repeatedly stalled over key disagreements. The US wants Iran to return to full compliance before lifting all sanctions, while Iran demands that the sanctions be lifted first, with guarantees that a future US administration won't back out of the deal again. It's a classic chicken and egg problem, and neither side is willing to blink first. Second, events in the wider Middle East are fanning the flames. The ongoing conflict in Gaza has created a volatile environment. Iran supports various proxy groups across the region, including Hezbollah in Lebanon and the Houthis in Yemen, who have been increasingly active. Attacks by these groups on US assets and international shipping lanes are often seen by Washington as being directed or at least encouraged by Tehran. In response, the US has conducted retaliatory strikes, raising the risk of a direct confrontation. For Iran, these proxy groups are a key part of its regional strategy. This is where the situation gets particularly dangerous. Iran's recent military advancements also play a crucial role. This growing military capability gives them more confidence in their ability to retaliate if attacked. Their leaders have stated that their missile program is purely for defensive purposes, but their adversaries see it as an offensive threat, especially when combined with their advancing nuclear program. On the nuclear front, international watchdogs have reported that Iran now has enough highly enriched uranium to produce several nuclear weapons if it chose to do so. This is often referred to as being a nuclear threshold state, while Iranian leaders have consistently said they are not seeking nuclear weapons, and their supreme leader has issued a religious decree against them. Their technical capability is a major source of anxiety for the international community. This capability is the ultimate bargaining chip for Iran, but it's also the ultimate red line for the United States and its allies. The internal dynamics within both countries also matter. In Iran, hardliners now control most levers of power. They are generally more skeptical of diplomacy with the West and more inclined towards a confrontational stance. Public frustration over the economy is high, but the government may be using a strong nationalist and anti-American posture to rally support and distract from domestic problems. In the United States, foreign policy towards Iran is a deeply divisive political issue. Any administration has to balance the desire to prevent a nuclear Iran with the risk of being drawn into another major conflict in the Middle East. With an election cycle often in view, decisions can be influenced by domestic political calculations as much as by international strategy. This political division can sometimes send mixed signals, making it harder to establish a consistent and predictable policy. So, what are the possible scenarios moving forward? One path is a continued, low-level conflict. This would involve more sanctions, more proxy attacks, and tense encounters in the Gulf, but with both sides carefully managing escalation to avoid an all-out war. This is the precarious state we've been in for some time, but the risk of miscalculation remains incredibly high. Another possibility is a diplomatic breakthrough. It seems unlikely at this moment, but it's not impossible. A new crisis or a change in leadership on either side could create a window of opportunity for talks to resume in earnest. A third-party mediator, perhaps a European or a regional country, could help bridge the gap and find a face-saving solution for both Washington and Tehran. The most dangerous scenario, of course, is direct military conflict. This could be triggered by a major attack from an Iranian proxy group that causes significant American casualties, or by a preemptive strike on Iran's nuclear facilities. A direct war between the US and Iran would be catastrophic for the region and the global economy. It would disrupt oil supplies, create a massive refugee crisis, and likely lead to a prolonged and bloody conflict with no clear winner. This is why the recent battle warning from Tehran is so significant. It's a clear message that the current path is leading towards a dangerous precipice. It's a high-stakes geopolitical chess game, where the next move could either pull us back from the brink or push us over it. The world is holding its breath, hoping that diplomacy and escalation will prevail over confrontation and conflict. It's a complex issue with a long history, and there are no easy answers. As the situation evolves, we'll continue to track it and bring you the latest analysis. It's crucial for all of us to stay informed about these developments, as they have far-reaching consequences for global peace and security. What do you think? Is there a path back to diplomacy, or is a larger conflict inevitable? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read all of them, and it's great to see different perspectives. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this breakdown helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more in-depth analysis on important global stories. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next video. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.